Welcome into the Action Lab on a Wednesday night. We're a little later than we always are, but hey, you know what? We are live with you for post game of the Denver Nuggets Miami Heat Finals Game 3 with your boys, Chris and Scotty A. Smith, here with you to break down everything we saw in this game and everything we expect to see moving forward. And Scotty, I'll tell you what, man, it started out a little shaky, but over the course of the game, the Nuggets got a little bit more comfortable. And I felt good. It felt like exactly what I thought game 2 should have felt like. But we're here and we're in game 3. And you know what? The Nuggets have won arguably 2 of the toughest games of this series. I thought one was a must-win game. Not must-win, but a very important game because Miami's won every game to start out the series, and we took that care of business. And also, game 3 I felt was very important after a game 2 loss. And I felt that the winner of this game has a lot of momentum going for the rest of the series and has a massive advantage moving forward. But the Nuggets get a 109-94 win over the Miami Heat in game 3. Big night by a couple of the superstars. We're going to get to that in a minute. But Scotty, how are you feeling, man?
I mean, I'm feeling good, Chris.
Rock chalk, baby. I see the hat.
Yeah, I had to rock the hat tonight. Come on now. You
Christian
know I had
Brown,
to rock
baby.
that hat. I mean, what a contribution from Christian Brown. We'll dive into that. I texted people. I'm like, is it weird that we had 2 guys get triple doubles in this game, which is the first time I think in finals history
Ever.
And the first time anyone's ever had a 30-20-10 triple double like Joker had in this one. And like you could argue the most important contribution in this game was Christian Brown.
Oh.
Like so good off the bench. He is our solution to like. I hate to say this because I like Michael Porter Jr.
No.
But he is exactly what Michael Porter Jr. is not. Michael Porter Jr. likes to hang out at the 3-point line. Likes to hit his shots, show his length, can rebound on the defensive end, and is an improved defender and had some nice defensive series tonight. Didn't have the shot falling again. He was 1 of 7 tonight. And what he doesn't do is he's not a great cutter. I mean, against that zone defense, like Christian Brown was huge, carving him up with the cuts. He's such a good cutter. He realizes he doesn't need to hang out at that 3-point line. Ironically, at Kansas, when he started at Kansas, like his best trait might have been in shooting. Like he was a great shooter. And that really hasn't come fully into play in these playoffs for sure. But for a guy that didn't get a single minute in game 4, basically got yanked in game 3, hadn't been playing a ton since then, to come in, play 19 minutes, 7 of 8 from the field, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal. That was a dunk. That dude just is like puts it all out on the floor and played some good defense on Jimmy Butler too.
Yeah, no, I mean he's that athletic wing that we've been looking for this entire series. Like he's strong, he's quick, he has active hands, and he's really he puts in the effort, and he's just all over the court. He's rebounding, he's doing everything you need him to do. And I mean, realistically, he's filling the void that Michael Porter Jr., like you mentioned, is supposed to be filling. And when Michael Porter Jr. is not getting those buckets, Michael Porter Jr. had a couple big rebounds early on in the game, and he, kind of did a couple things that were nice, but in the grand scheme of things, he wasn't contributing to where you feel like he's making a difference, right? Like it doesn't really feel like he's there. But I thought the energy level was right where it needed to be. Scotty, I don't know if you noticed, I put out a TikTok. Hey, Hauser, thank you for the 11 months.
Thank you so much.
Yo,
Hauser?
Hey guys, happy 11 months. Just popping in to say congrats to the Nuggets. Let's go.
I mean, there's a lot of work to be done, but
a lot of work.
It certainly feels better to be up 2-1 than down 2-1. Long series left. I had people today at work telling me if the Nugs lose tonight, that the series they're not gonna win the series. I was like, pretty sure it's the first of 4. Like, let's chill out a little bit. Just in the same way that I think just because the Nuggets won tonight, the series is far from over for Miami. Like, I don't think it's any stretch of a foregone conclusion at this point. But obviously, getting the win is big moving forward. I think I heard this stat today that like series in the NBA, maybe I don't know if it's full playoffs or just NBA finals, tied at 1-1. The winner of game 3 goes on to win like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
For the series.
I saw that too. Yeah.
It was an important one.
Big one. And yeah, I mean, overall, I think I put out a TikTok to late this afternoon. I don't know if you saw it, Scotty.
I did.
And
I did see it.
And part of
I
which
liked it.
all of came into fruition. Well, some of it. And it was interesting because I was there. I broke down a couple reasons why I feel, one, like we are still feeling good overall. I'm feeling good about the series, and 2, how we were going to play this game out, and one of which was attacking that zone, which I felt like we did a really good job of tonight. And part of it was, I don't know if you saw how they play that zone. It's a weird zone. So they have like it's a 2-3, but they pull up the center of the back of the 2-3 into the paint to try to like really contest that middle of the paint for Jokic. And they try to like make that hard place to inbound the ball or get the ball into the paint, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, all you got to do is get one of your wings to dribble penetrate and try to get some of the guys from the corners to kind of creep in and help out on that inside dribbler. And then from there, it opens up so many things, from like a kick out to other plays. And I saw that happen 2 or 3 times where the Nuggets saw it coming. Christian Brown attacked it over and over and over, and they could not figure out how to stop it, which was great. Another thing I noticed too was they were able to just make it harder. It was an effort thing in the game 2. They didn't have the effort. They had the effort in game 3. Where they were contesting all the 3 points. They were fighting the screens. They were contesting the 3-point line every single time. They made it tough for all of their guys. Strus, Vincent, all of them were having a hard time getting their shots off of open looks, like they had open looks in the game 2. So I thought that was a big aspect of it. And overall, I just felt that, Jokic played a lot better defensively. I thought Murray played a lot better defensively than he did in game 2. So overall, I thought it was a very positive game. Now, they tried to give it away at the end a little bit, but, they still had it in hand.
Sloppy stuff. And
Sloppy.
Then Robinson hits like a crazy 3 as well. And then you get the offensive foul on Murray. I'm like, you got to be kidding. Don't mess around. You know what? I wasn't worried about them losing, but like 45 minutes prior to that, or an hour before that, Nick Wright had tweeted out, like when the game was very close still, it was like early third quarter. He's like, just so you know, you can still get Miami plus 5.5 right now. Oh my
goodness. And how many people blew their bank accounts betting on that?
And an hour later, he did tweet prior, when the Nuggets were up a bunch prior to the end of the game. Yeah, that was an awful bet, by the way. My bad. And he does that. I will say he does that all the time with the Chiefs. And to be fair, he's right with the Chiefs, but because the Chiefs always have the best player on the field. Guess who the best player? I mean, the Heat don't have the best player on the court in this series.
No,
that's pretty obvious. The best player on the planet, and everyone's getting to see it now. It's so obvious. 30, 20, 10, triple-double tonight. Nikola Jokic is a monster. What is he at? I think he's averaging like 33, 14, and 8 or 7.
Something like that.
In this series.
It's not quite a triple-double, but it's almost there.
You take away the outlier being that 4 assists in game 2. In the other 2 games, I think he had 10 tonight, maybe 9 in game 1. He had 14 in game 1. What am I talking about? So he's got 18 plus 9 is 27. That's 9. 9, Chris. So he's almost averaging a triple-double in this NBA Finals thus far. Murray comes through. I mean, Murray doesn't get a lot of triple-doubles, but gets one tonight. I actually, left my TV when he was at 9 rebounds because there was only like 20 seconds left and we were like going to the free throw line. I don't know how he got his 10th rebound unless they like got it from before and I missed it.
You know what's weird? I thought the same thing about Jokic's 10th assist. I was like, he scored on that possession. I was like, wait a minute, how did he get that assist? Like they flashed it when he scored, and I was like, did he get the 12th or the 10th assist before that play, or did they count it from an earlier thing? Because he scored a tough bucket, and they were like, oh, there it is. There's the triple double, and I'm like, he didn't pass the ball. But either way, regardless, Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic are the first teammates in NBA. First of all, Jokic is the first player in NBA history to have 30, 20, and 10. But Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are the first teammates in NBA history, regular season or playoffs. It doesn't matter. In the NBA, in basketball, to reach 30-point triple doubles in the same game. Are you kidding me? They're also the first teammates to each have 30 points, 10 assists in the same playoff game since Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter in 1992, which is wild. Like, that just doesn't happen. I mean, we were talking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Wilt Chamberlain each have one, and Nikola Jokic, this is his third. Like, he's up there with the legends.
I think you muted yourself or something there, Chris, at the end.
He's up there with the legends, is what I was saying.
Man, I never mind. I could have just not been paying attention to your mouth moving. I mean, Chris, there's a ton of things when I look at this box score for the Nuggets. If you would have told me they were only going to hit 5 3-pointers tonight to 11 for Miami, I'd be like, ooh. If you would have told me Porter and KCP are going to combine for 2 made field goals in this game, I'd be like, yikes. And our other 3 starters combined for 19 points in this game, I would have been very concerned. But obviously, Jokic and Murray. Someone said that it's on local radio yesterday, and I'm sure nationally people would lose their minds if they heard this. And even when I heard it, I'm like, oh, whoa, let's settle down. But there's a very important facet of this that I think may be true and might be accurate. That Murray and Jokic are the best duo in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And no one on the national media would ever say that. No one. But how they play off each other, the 2-man game, how they like their traits work together, because like there are other great duos. LeBron and AD, got it. Booker, Durant, we faced them too.
Got the Celtics with Tatum and Brown.
Tatum and Brown. Like, there's plenty of great duos out there that maybe individually are combined are a little superior to Murray and Jokic, but like collectively playing off each other and playing with each other and what each brings to the team, I'll take them over anybody, dude. I'll take them over anybody. Well, and obviously we beat 2 of those duos, and the other one, Tatum and Brown. Tatum and Brown to me are too similar. They're too similar.
They're the same guy.
Kind of the same guy. Yeah. I mean, Tatum's better, but
he is actually. Brown looked terrible in that Eastern Conference Finals. He looked terrible. But
whoa. Scotty yelled at Chris for calling Jokic the GOAT. When did I yell at Jokic? Or you calling Jokic the GOAT? First of all, I don't know if you said he was the GOAT.
I said, I think I mentioned he was the greatest offensive player potentially of all time. And, we were talking about, that was a different context of just how he affects the game offensively. And then we were kind of going back and forth. But you know what's funny about that is that's funny you bring that up. There's only one person in the media that have said that Jokic and Murray are the best GOAT duo in the NBA as of right now. And that's JJ Redick. He's going back and forth with Perk on that one.
Oh, and did he say it? I didn't hear it nationally.
He's the only one. And everyone else has challenged JJ on it. And JJ's like, no, these guys, it's not about being the best, the highest scoring duo. It's not about being whatever. It's about the synergy of the duo that makes it the best duo. It's how they play off each other. It's what they, I mean, in the first half, they 40 of their first 45 points were assisted or scored on from Jokic and Murray. or it was something crazy like that. And I was like,
it was exactly that.
and it was just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? What's up, G Girl? How we doing? Shout out to G Girl.
What's up, G Girl? How was your stream?
How was your stream?
Let's
Hopefully it
go
was good.
Nuggets.
Shout out to G Girl. Go give her a follow if you haven't. Hope you enjoyed the Nuggets win tonight. Zay, we were let's see. Zay was giving us some love in the chat. Here, let me go back.
Said, oh, well, I see the. Or are you going prior to we were bad? We were bad. I'll give you guys this one. Christian Brown was great. MPJ was bad, so that's the only thing I'm happy about. Yeah, my prediction of MPJ going for 100 fell 98 points short, guys.
It fell a little short.
Not gonna lie. Did I think he was going for 100? No, I was just the hate he gets sometimes is
now
like over the top. Now he's been bad this.
He's
finals.
been bad.
There's no doubt about it.
He's been bad,
There's
and
no
Caldwell Pope has been bad. KCP got into him and Porter Jr. have not played well, but Caldwell Pope, he's been playing. He was aggressive on defense here in kind of midpoint of the game, maybe towards the third quarter of the game. He was playing some decent defense, but didn't get a lot of run. But you don't need to get a lot of run when you're getting a lot of contribution from. I loved what Bruce Brown was doing in there defensively. I thought he played well, even though it didn't show up in the stats. I mean, he was 1 for 5 on the field, 1 for 3 from 3 for 5 points. But you look at that and it's deceiving because he was all over the place defending. And I felt like he did a very, very good job. There's a reason why he was in there. And also Christian Brown, obviously massive off the bench, 15 points, 7 of 8 from the field, and just was getting turnovers. And, he was pressuring the ball.
Great cuts, good on defense, made the right reads. Like, this dude is, and our boy on Twitter, that's a Nuggets guy here that's blown up. What's his name? Swiper. Yeah, Swiper calls him an Alex Caruso with hair. And quite frankly, I like that comparison. I think it's selling him a little short.
Oh, I think
Christian Brown has the potential to be far more than an Alex
the
Caruso.
Post-game press conference by Joker was saying, quote, Christian Brown has a future in this league. He is a champion and he will be good. And that's Jokic recognizing that he is a big time player that's on the rise.
He's a dog, man. He is a dog.
DJ Bryan, what's up, DJ? Miami played horrible
up?
tonight. Couldn't rebound or block anything. DJ, welcome in, brother.
I don't know that they're a huge shot blocking team, but rebounds. I underestimated how bad the rebound difference was until looking at it. But some of that is when one team is making more shots. I mean, Nuggets shot 51% to Miami's 37%, and obviously the Nuggets provide a lot more size, so they should win the battle of the boards. Maybe not to this discrepancy of tonight at 58-33, but and I think earlier Zay was like, at least Bam is playing pretty consistently, and I was kind of thinking that too until I looked at the box score tonight. Bam was 7 of 21 from the field tonight.
Yeah,
8 of 10 from the line, which helped, and had 17 rebounds. But like he was their worst plus minus of the game at -20. Because I kind of agree. Every time I watch, I'm like, he's hitting some of these shots that, like, watch the Boston series. He couldn't make anything to save his life. And now in this series, he's blown up. And then I look and he's 7 of 21. I'm like, oh, maybe not. Like, no starter for Miami shot 50% from the field tonight. Not a one.
Well,
and some weren't close. Strus was 1 of 7. Vincent was 2 of 10. Kevin Love with 2 of 5. Butler was close at 11 of 24. But
yeah, and that was a testament to the Nuggets just being aggressive on the perimeter, like not being lazy. From the field, Nuggets shot 51.2% from the field to compared to the Miami Heat's 37, and that's basically the Nuggets getting in the paint. The Nuggets were living in the paint, 60 points in the paint versus 34 for Miami. Miami could not get anything going. If you're doubling up Miami in the paint, I love where we're going. If the Nuggets are being able to score at will close to the basket, getting those high percentage shots, like, and Jokic is 60-70% from the field in that area of the court every single time over the course of the season, you're giving him shots like that. He's going to take them. Like, that's just the recipe for disaster. If your 3-point shots aren't falling, and neither team really shot well from three tonight. Neither team did. But
Yeah.
when you're not shooting good from three, you got to really focus in on those high percentage shots otherwise. And Nuggets feasted in the paint.
Yeah. And, obviously having the size in the paint helps a lot where, Butler missed some shots in the paint too, but did pretty well, especially in the first half. Butler was getting a lot of what he wanted, played really well offensively in the first half. And I wasn't concerned about that. I said after game 2, I'm like, let Butler be a scorer. Just don't collapse on him. Force him to make tough shots. If he makes tough shots, all right, yeah, credit to him. But don't unnecessarily cheat off of your guy in order to help on Butler when it's not necessary, and then give up a three, because Butler's a great passer. Butler's a jack of all trades, no doubt about it. He can do it all. They need the points, he'll provide it. Like, he only had 4 assists tonight and a couple boards, so like he didn't make a ton of contributions outside that. But I don't know. I feel like obviously Aaron Gordon's great on Butler, but we were switching a ton tonight. He took advantage of the smaller guys. I will say, everyone hates on MPJ, but like, Jeff Van Gundy did say during the broadcast, he's like, if it's not Aaron Gordon on Butler, I like the size of MPJ on him. And he did affect him a couple times. Now, obviously, we got a long series left to go. Well, hopefully it's short. Hopefully we only got 2 more games, Chris. But the reality is it could be more than that. This is the last quick turnaround with only tomorrow off, and they get back at it on Friday night. But it'll be interesting. I feel like Miami's strategy has been to really pressure the 3-point shot of the Nuggets. And they've struggled from 3. Some good looks, some tough looks, and only attempted 18, which is probably well below what they, typically shoot from 3. So Miami's been aggressive on like getting out on those shooters, maybe giving up some of those easier shots in the paint. Do you adjust now? Do you lay off them a little more and give some of those looks from 3 and see if Denver makes them? I don't know. The thing is, like, Miami's not an explosive offensive team. Like, they put up 111 in game 2 when they were shooting like 50% from 3. Like a lot of things went right offensively in game 2, and they put up 111. Like, if that's Golden State and a lot of things are going right offensively, you're putting up 130 plus, right?
True.
So, that's 2 of the 3 games. They haven't reached 100 points in this final. They grind offensively because they don't have a ton of guys that can necessarily do it one-on-one or individually. They got to work off each other, and they play a tremendous team game. And credit them, they do not turn the ball over, Chris.
No.
It drives me nuts.
No.
How good the Heat are with the ball and not turning it over. I'm like, can you just make some mental errors offensively, please? Like, let us get out in the fast break, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I think too, I thought the fouls early were kind of pivotal for the Miami Heat, because Vincent got in foul trouble real quick. He had 2 quick fouls back to back and then had to go to the bench. Then he comes back in, gets his 3rd foul really quick once he comes back into the game, which threw him off. So he wasn't in the nice rhythm like he typically is. But everyone else, yeah, they just struggled to get into a rhythm. I think, that was what the game plan was for the adjustments on the Nuggets side. We talk about adjustments on both sides, and we have 2 great coaches. I mentioned it in the TikTok that I threw out there earlier on today. By the way, go give that TikTok some love if you're hanging out. But I was like, both teams have very good coaches that make good adjustments. And, part of me feels like I don't know what other adjustments Miami can make, because there's only so much you can do, right? I feel like Coach Spoelstra put out a lot of his adjustments for that game 2 victory. Well, now the Nuggets have an idea of not only what you did in game 1, but what you did in game 2. And I'm trying to we figured out what they did in game 2. So we know that that's coming. What other adjustments can come? Spoelstra's very creative with how he coaches, but there's only so many things you can do before you start getting to a point where, I mean, it's just too hard to guard this team.
It's incredibly difficult to guard the Nuggets.
Yeah. Zay, I mean, yeah, but we need aggression, so I'll let this game happen. Don't want that man to lose his confidence.
I think that was about Bam, and I don't disagree. Watching it, I didn't feel like he had a bad game. I'm just looking at the box score. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it wasn't what I thought it was.
Yeah,
necessarily. But watching the game, I thought Bam played well.
Because Jimmy is losing his punch. I don't know, but why? But he is. Only person that can really guard him is Gordon. I want more than 2. 5 games is boring. If we win the next game, y'all can win the next 2, but I want at least a game 6. I mean,
Chris, winning in 6 is your absolute nightmare, right?
Winning in 6 isn't great for me because I definitely want to.
I mean, it's not your absolute nightmare.
It's not
winning is a nightmare.
I mean, I don't have control if they win in 6, so I feel okay. I don't feel great, but I feel okay. Yeah. So after this win tonight, the Nuggets are minus 1,200 to win the championship. Miami Heat are plus 750.
That went from 265 or whatever it was prior to this game to minus 1,200.
To minus 1,200, just like that. I'm looking at. What? I don't know if it's FanDuel only, but minus 1,200 for the NBA championship. And that ballooned.
Oh, I have it at minus 800.
Still, I mean, it's still a lot, but
it is.
It's still kind of crazy. The correct score right now, the 4-1 minus 115. Nuggets winning in 5, I should say. 4-1 minus 115 is the favorite in Vegas. Nuggets 4-2 is plus 270 in Vegas. For the top 3 results. 4-1, 4-2, 4-3. All best odds. So it's going to be crazy coming down these next couple games to see what ends up happening. But the Nuggets definitely showed that they were the superior team in a lot of ways. There's been winning games in these grindy kind of feeling games. I mean, none of these games have been over. What was this one? This one didn't hit the over. It was 112.
I would imagine maybe game 2 hit the over, but that
was 119. Yeah.
No, it was 111, 108.
Or 219, I should say. Yeah.
Gotcha.
My bad. So yeah, I mean, this top to bottom. I mean, Kevin Love. By the way, can I get your pulse on how you felt? I don't know if you saw this or if you were watching this game because you were working a little bit. But
I was watching.
Your thoughts when Reggie Jackson came into the game early on? I was like, oh no.
I wasn't panicked, and part of that, and he played. To be clear, he played 1 minute, I believe.
Yeah,
but that was KCP got 2 early fouls himself, so he got into foul trouble a little bit. They threw Reggie Jackson. I was just like, maybe Reggie will just have like a crazy like, hey, I remember what I used to be moment. Poor guy was 0 for 1, and his only one attempt was at the end of that first quarter from like, just inside of half court. Almost got it to go. Hit off the back iron, but I wasn't panicked. Didn't think he'd get a lot of minutes. But quite frankly, the contributions from guys outside of the 3 that played huge tonight were kind of. I mean, Jeff Green had a couple nice shots. He was 2 from the field, but he played fine. I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is just at this point. There's got to be some sort of mental block, which means he needs to like improve his mental aspect. To have 2 bad games and then all of a sudden like you just can't hit a shot. And he had one go down and out. It was in and out from 3 early on in the game. But what he has to figure out in the offseason is if my shot's not dropping, what can I do to get myself to make sure I'm a plus on the team, even if my shot's not falling? Like, how else can I contribute? What can I do hustle wise, contribution wise, cutting wise, whatever it may be? Because the ability's there.
Well, that's a good
Obviously.
point though, because we saw flashes of this in the Phoenix and the Lakers series where he was putting the ball on the court, dribbling to the hoop, and getting some buckets, layups, mid-range jumpers, things along those lines. He tried to mid-range jumper this game, didn't fall either. I think it's a confidence thing. And then he kind of has that Ben Simmons, if things aren't working, he kind of just gets that vibe of he has an open shot, but he end up doing some weird things with it, passing it or dribbling in and just not feeling confident with the ball. And I hope he can shake that. It only takes a couple shots to go down before he's back in rhythm again and he's feeling good. But
For sure.
what's great about this Nuggets team and what I said about these previous couple games is they haven't had a guy coming off the bench or just like a role player coming into the game and putting up like 20 points and a half or something. Well, they kind of had that with Christian Brown tonight. And that was one of the biggest factors in this game of why they won is because they had somebody outside of Murray, outside of Jokic, contributing. I thought Gordon played well. He played physical early on, kind of faded down the stretch of the game a little bit, but still his defense was there.
Gordon was great tonight.
Yeah, he was good.
I mean, he had a double-double, 11 points, 10 boards, and 5 assists. Like,
what if we had 3 players with triple doubles tonight?
that would have been wild.
Bruh.
That would have been wild
Man.
because we only had 28 assists as a team, so that we would have needed a couple more. But honestly, outside of those, they were 25 of the 28 tonight. So Reggie Jackson got an assist in his 1 minute. I feel like Christian Brown had more than one assist because he had some nice takes where he dumped off to Joker and then Joker made the shot. Maybe I was thinking of one he made, one he got fouled on. But either way, Christian Brown was amazing. Has the championship pedigree, obviously, because he's a Jayhawk.
He knows how to win championships, right?
That's right. And he was a dog in those playoffs. I love the pick when it happened. I'm thrilled that he's earlier on. Devil Doc's like, I might need to get me Christian Brown KU jersey. I'm not a big jersey guy. I have one jersey and it's Mahomes.
You might get a Brown jersey.
My last Nuggets jersey was Jalen Rose. Okay. It was that long ago. I might get a Christian Brown jersey.
Hey man, if I get you for Christmas this year, just saying.
You get Christian Brown jersey.
You get to represent 2 of your favorite teams. One, like if you think about this, you get a Christian Brown jersey, you have you're wearing a player who potentially will win 2 championships all in one jersey, who is in his rookie year winning a championship, who has a high career trajectory at this point. It's probably a safe bet.
Yeah. I always thought I'd get a Murray jersey probably if I bought a jersey, but now, man, nothing against Murray, but Christian Brown, dude. Ton of people. I wouldn't get Jokic because everyone's got Jokic, Obviously, I have Mahomes, so people are like, "What are you talking about?" But the Mahomes was kind of like gifted to me almost, so that's why I have that.
Yeah, no, Jokic. What's his trajectory? How old is this kid? 26 years old? 27? Is he 27? 26.
Jokic?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not 20. He's 27 or 28, I think.
He is 28. 28. So, the fact that he's still in his prime is
obviously his game is catered to playing for a long time. It's not like he's relying on athleticism.
No.
By any stretch. And also, he doesn't get injured a lot because, quite frankly, injuries occur when you're moving at high speeds or jumping at high levels, and he doesn't do that either. Like, his injuries are usually like, I hurt my wrist or my finger or like something like that. He doesn't have like the lower body injuries that a lot of guys have. Obviously, there's been weird speculation, Chris. I'm sure you've heard it in Denver recently that maybe he just doesn't have like the want to play for a long time. I believe that. I think he loves basketball. Everything outside of basketball that is involved with the NBA, I think he does not like. But he loves the game of basketball.
Oh, he loves it. He's the kind of guy that when he retires, he's gonna like retire and just disappear. He's not gonna be.
Oh, he's going back to Serbia.
He's going back
for
to
sure.
Serbia. You're
He's
gonna
riding horses on wagons.
Somebody's gonna down the line. Somebody's gonna find like an old barn, and there's gonna be an old man sitting there, and there's gonna be trophies buried under a stack of hay somewhere, and they're gonna be his MVP trophies and his NBA Finals MVP trophy and all these things that are just gonna be sitting in this empty, dusty barn because. So like Tim Duncan, he's going to be exactly Tim Duncan. He almost is Tim Duncan, practically a better version of Tim Duncan. But hot take and spicy.
It's spicy.
But yeah, he's going to be that guy. I mean, by the way, shout out to everybody in Serbia at almost 6 a.m. who stays up. I was listening to the local radio station, the good local radio station here in Denver, where they interviewed an announcer from Serbia.
I heard that. I was listening to that.
Did you hear that conversation where they were like, oh, yeah, he's like, I do both. I do the commentary and I do the play-by-play, or the analysis and the play-by-play. And people are hyped in Serbia. People are going crazy. And we're watching the games at 3, 4 a.m. I'm like, damn, we thought the East Coast had it bad, Eastern time zone, but man, Serbia, watching your boy. Tough.
Zay is like, if he wins like 4, maybe on the Tim Duncan thing, I think he's a better offensive player than Tim Duncan. He's not the defensive player of Tim Duncan's caliber, but so you could debate it. Obviously, Tim Duncan had a more, especially team wise, a greater career at this juncture. But again, Jokic is still young, and this core, we talked about it before, this core for the Nuggets of
together for
Jokic, Murray, Porter, Gordon aren't going anywhere. Christian Brown clearly is now a key part of that.
Man, and he's a cheap player at the moment. Bruce Brown is the only one, and I hope we bring Bruce back. I just have a gut feeling Bruce is gone after this season, regardless of what happens. I mean, I would love for him to be back, but I don't
think he's back.
Yeah, I think I just have a vibe that we're
gonna be outpriced on that one.
Yeah, he's gonna
unfortunately,
he's gonna go somewhere, and he's not gonna have as much success. Ask the Mason Plumlees and the Jeremy Grants of the world how well that works out.
Individual success maybe, but not team success. Because Jeremy Grant put up some numbers while he was losing a ton of games.
Yeah. He did start off with David Robinson, so he had a pretty decent start. True. Wait, I know we're talking about the finals, but what's the take on the Spurs getting the first pick? We're going to do a big draft special, actually.
Those lucky SMBs.
They are very, very lucky, and it's very, I mean, that's a fitting spot for him to land.
The 3 years they get the number 1 overall, there's such a clear, obvious number 1 overall pick. And it was David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama.
Victor Wembanyama is, I mean, he's the crown jewel, man. You want to get a guy that's going to change the game, and he's a guy that can change the game. And I actually have, I'm coming out with a Why It Matters on Victor Wembanyama and the NBA draft. And you might be surprised on my take around that whole scenario of Victor Wembanyama, the NBA, and how he projects to be in the NBA. So keep an eye out for that. That's coming up soon. We've got an NBA draft special coming up soon. We're going to break down some of those. Scotty, I think we have some time to break down some of those players and kind of do some previews of some guys, kind of like we do for the NFL draft. So we'll be doing that for you guys as well. Mainly like top 10, top 15 guys. We're not going to do anything like NFL where we're breaking down different positions, but there's only like a handful of guys that we really want to focus on in the first round, and some interesting ones maybe towards the end, but that's about it. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be hitting you here in the next week or two, because that's the 22nd is the NBA draft, Thursday the 22nd. So
yeah, 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow. It's going to happen quick.
It's coming quick.
It always does. The NBA draft is right after. It always seems, well, for years it seemed like took forever, because as a Nugget fan back in the day, you were just like, that was your best day of the year was the NBA draft. Like, who are we gonna get? Because we weren't good for a long time. And now we're just chilling in the finals. We're like, man, I'm like, do we have a first round pick? I don't think we do. I don't think we do.
I don't
but
think
I don't
so
even know
either.
for sure.
I think it's
We
early,
moved it,
mid,
like,
or early.
we have a higher second round pick than we should. I
higher
think
second
we're
round pick.
somewhere around like 40 overall.
Correct. Yeah, but that's where we drafted Jokic during a Taco Bell commercial back in the day, and he was sleeping.
So we're drafting an MVP this year.
We're drafting a
40.
2-time MVP this year to just help out Jokic and Murray. I mean, like, think about this, guys. A lot of this team is homegrown. A lot of the guys that are contributing on this team are guys that, I big props to what the Nuggets have put together, and between Connolly and what's his name? The current GM of the Nuggets, sort of the
Booth.
Calvin Booth. Both of them have really done a great job. Mostly Calvin Booth recently about some of the moves shipping off some trades at the trade deadline that didn't. I mean, can you imagine having a guy like Bones Highland just being toxic on the bench or missing a bunch of shots and just, not fitting into the game plan? Like, everybody's bought in on this team, and it feels so good to be seeing that just unfold in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, Chris, I have speaking of the draft one more time real quick with the Jokic relation. The Nuggets took him at 41 overall in the draft. They took him. The Nuggets have the 40th pick in this draft. Do they, prior to the draft, make a trade with Charlotte at 41 for nothing? For nothing. They move back one spot just for some juju, like some good mojo. Like, hey, we're going to move back one spot here, Charlotte. And Charlotte's like, what do you want? Like, oh, we don't want anything. We just want to drop back to 41.
We'll just trade with you straight up.
Then we're going to get another MVP of the league, obviously.
Like,
something to think about.
Just do it. I mean, at that point, after the first round, it's kind of a shot in the dark anyway. You just don't know what you're getting.
Zay here, I think Pop can break him down so he doesn't be a dumbass talking about women. How many years does Pop have left?
He's probably got Wembanyama, let's just be straight. That extended his career by a lot. Can you imagine?
It'll be interesting. Yeah, obviously, Pop is a GOAT coach of all time, so he'll get him on the right path or whatever. But will Pop be there for like a finals run? I don't know, because it feels like even with Wembanyama, like San Antonio feels far away from that. Zay talking mess about the Nuggets, but I did want them to win the finals because I honestly didn't expect us to make it this far. Yeah, why would you expect Miami as an 8 seed to make it to the finals?
It's been
crazy run.
Still
they've had.
It's not over yet.
No, that's absolutely not.
Yeah.
I just mean it's been a crazy run. That doesn't mean it's over. To get to this point, it seems like, and I kind of slept on this year, especially when they lost in the first play-in to Atlanta. I was just kind of like, this team's not like other teams because Miami obviously has been, and I'm not saying mediocre, but they've certainly been far superior in the playoffs than they are a regular season team in this stretch over the last 5-6 years. But I slept on them this year. I did not see this coming this year. And not to mention, they lose Oladipo. They lose Tyler Hero. They lose, two key contributors, and they still make it to the finals and are still battling here, and we'll see what happens. Speaking of Tyler Hero,
I was just about to talk about that.
Is this the time now? You don't bring him in after a win, but now going to game 4, you've kind of lacked some offensive firepower. Is this the moment to get Tyler Hero back in the fold if you're Miami?
So I think, in my opinion, I think if you're bringing back Tyler Hero in the next game, it feels like a desperate move. It feels like we need something because after this last game, we really need to make like you'll know that you'll get a really good pulse of how concerned Spoelstra is and the Heat are based off of how quickly they rush back Tyler Hero in the next game. Because realistically, if he comes back, not only are you displacing one of the guys that got you to this point, like Duncan Robinson or whoever it may be, guys that have really contributed to get you to this point, but you're throwing in a guy that hasn't had full speed game reps into the NBA finals like that. I just feel that's a real big gamble. I feel like you can't get off the rhythm of what you have with your guys. So if you see Tyler Hero coming into this series, in my opinion, I think that's a desperate move to try to figure out a way to stay in the series. And I, as a Nuggets fan, I think I would love to see that. Unless he comes out and shoots lights out in that first game and he looks good, he has a broken hand and he's been out for so long. I mean, I don't know.
I disagree with you a little bit. I think if you're gonna do it, if you're Miami and you're gonna do it, Game 4 is the time to do it. You're at home. He gets a little more of that, like at home. The energy of the crowd could get in a rhythm shooting wise, rather than going. Let's say they go down 3-1 or whatever, or even if they're 2-2, you start them on the road. I feel like it's a more difficult path. Zay makes a good point. Like he doesn't have to start and he doesn't have to play huge minutes.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a defensive liability. He is not a good defender. He's worse than who they're trotting out defensively at those positions right now. So while he might be a plus offensively, he's a minus defensively. But to bring insert him in for 10, 15 minutes of Game 4 just to see what that looks like. I disagree with you're offending the guys that got him there. Like this guy got you, played a ton of minutes in the regular season, got you to where you're at a little bit. I know you weren't great in the regular season, but at the same time, he was a large contributor. I think the players on the team would understand, like, hey, this guy had a huge role. Like, if the Nuggets, if MPJ was, out for an extended time in these playoffs, and then all of a sudden he's healthy enough to come back, we're down 2-1, you wouldn't want him back? Oh, you wouldn't want to see. I mean, obviously, erasing the fact that he's been terrible in these finals, because that wouldn't be a reality in this scenario. Of course, you'd want him back.
Oh, and to be clear, I don't think these guys will be upset. I think Strus and Vincent have been pretty good shooting. I mean,
Strus has been awful 2 of the 3 games shooting.
Strus,
he was actually good for 1 quarter. He was great in the first quarter of Game 2. Outside of that, he's been. He was 0 of 9 from 3 in Game 1. He was 1 of 7 from the field tonight. He's been bad.
4 of 10 for 3 from Game 2.
He had all 4 of those in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I think.
So, but you leave him open and he can hit shots, so he's dangerous.
Well, not as well as Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is a far superior shooter to Max Strus.
But Tyler Hero's been out for so long, throwing him into an intense physical series with a broken hand. I just, if you're telling me, if I'm a coach and I'm trying to go with a guy that I feel is gonna, I know what I'm getting from him. That I think that's a little bit of a gamble. I think Vincent and Strus is where the minutes would come from if you threw in Tyler Hero. So you got to pull minutes from one of those 2 guys, if not both, potentially. Depending on how you want to do it.
What you're getting from Max Strus, and what you're getting is 5 of 23 from 3 in this series.
Sure.
That's pretty bad.
You're hoping Tyler Hero can do something, right? But yeah, I think Strus has always been that catch if you
catch you off guard
shooter type of player, not starter type player. Plus, he's also a defensive liability. So, yeah, I mean, well, Zay, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head here in a couple spots. I mean, defensively, the Miami Heat against a team like the Nuggets, might be tough, right? To defend an offensive juggernaut like what they put out on the court. Now they've struggled a little bit over the last two games offensively in some areas, especially from the three ball. But I mean, regardless, I think whether you have Tyler Hero, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, when the Nuggets are playing at the top of their game, I don't think it doesn't really matter who you throw in there at a certain point.
I think this Miami Heat team is the best defensive team the Nuggets have faced in this playoffs, but it very well might. I think it's probably the worst offensive team.
Yeah.
So how that counteracts itself, like I would take Minnesota's offense, I would take Phoenix's offense, I'd even take the Lakers' offense over this Miami offense. I mean, you just look at that roster; it's not. Even Bam, who's your second best player, isn't known necessarily as like an offensive juggernaut, right?
Hey guys, guess what? Nuggets beat the Heat. Let's go.
Let's go. Welcome in, Broncos. What's up, Brendan? How we doing?
Brendan, how you doing?
Welcome.
We're happy. It's a best of 7. It's not over until you get 4 wins. So we're focused in, I've always found that weird actually, but I get it at the same time. I live a constant life of like, how fans are like talking about like, oh, we got this. And then other fans are like, hey, don't get cocky. Don't get ahead of ourselves, which by the way, does not matter because the players are the only thing that matters, right? Like the fans can get as cocky as hell or as little as confidence as hell, and it does not matter unless the players are reading that and that affects them, and that's a different thing. But like, players should not be, no offense, watching our stream right now. You probably have better things to do, or even going on Twitter and reading all the garbage that's on Twitter. Speaking of Twitter and the NBA, Chris, today,
I'll drink
Zion Williamson.
Oh, we have a lot
some trouble.
We have a lot to talk about Zion. Oh my goodness. Guys, this Sunday we will have a normal show and we have a lot to talk about. Not only will we be talking about the NBA Finals and previewing and recapping the next game of the NBA Finals, Game 4, but we have stuff happening all over the place. Zion winning off the court. Broncos, what did Zion do? Let's just say...
what did he not do?
What did he not do? It's spicy. And let's just say, Broncos, you could probably go down the wormhole between now and Sunday.
What's weird is off the court, he seems fully healthy, Chris.
Oh, he seems very healthy.
Seems like that, ready to go.
Broncos, let's just say he's associated with a couple individuals of the movie world and the specifically adult movie world with Zay's got it. He got a girl pregnant, and then the other girl that he was dating didn't know that he was dating the girl that he got pregnant. And now she's blowing him up and throwing like text messages out there on Twitter. And
he was moving her out to New Orleans. He's like, hey, I'm going to pay for you to live out here. He did send a weird message to her like, hey, just so we're on the same page, when you move out here, how much are you expecting from me per month financially? Which is a weird question. But she was not pleased to find out that he has a baby on the way with another female.
And then she was like, you better get a DNA test and this and that. We're going to get Maury on the scene here soon.
I think this girl that is pissed off, I think he's dodging a bullet. Like, she seems crazy. I don't think it was going to work out, guys. I know this shocks people, but this porn star that was moving to New Orleans to be exclusive with Zion Williamson, I don't think it's gonna work.
We're getting Maury like, Cincy and KC. I'm not a player, I just crush a lot. Hey, Broncos, you know your hip hop, brother. But yeah, we got some of that to talk about. We got some John Morant stuff. Obviously, there's always stuff with John Morant happening. And stuff just all messy. We'll talk about Miami. We'll talk about Messi. Woo, we have so much to talk about. So make sure you guys tune in.
$1.6 billion from the Saudis.
Oh my goodness.
Speaking of the Saudis, Chris, I can't believe you made that joke on air last night.
Oh, no.
Like, what were you thinking?
Oh my
You can't say that.
Ugh.
You can't say that live on stream.
Sometimes I just read shit and it just comes out. And I just it's like that. What is it? Anchorman, where you just throw something on a teleprompter and you just read it through and you're just like, oh, great. But guys, we have so much to talk about Sunday. You do not want to miss this Sunday show. It'll be the best show you'll ever see in your life. I promise you. It'll be the biggest show we've ever done. And I'm not kidding. Joker doing what no other player's done blows my mind. We're watching something special here, Broncos. Like, I mean, don't take what you're seeing for granted. Like,
what did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap. Slap who? Casually. Yeah, don't take what you're seeing for granted. Like, this is history being made, and we're watching one of the best players on the planet in basketball do his thing.
I am Chris. My 2 favorite sports are basketball and football, and I feel
you potentially have the 2 best players on the planet at their respective sports.
Sport life. I had such a bad sporting life as far as team success for so many years of my life, and I was like, I am absolutely cursed. Like, I have a love for these sports, and my teams will never win. And now I have in my 2 favorite sports the best players on earth in both of those sports, and it seems almost not real, Chris. I don't know. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
By the way, just to preview, just a quick glance at Game 4. Nuggets open up -3.5 in Game 4,
which is what it closed at tonight.
Yeah, it started at 2.5, 2 or 2 and 2. It started at 2, and all of a sudden this afternoon grew to 3.5 fast. It was like rapid ascension into 3.5 range, and at that point I felt pretty good about this game too. But -3.5, Nuggets favorites going into Game 4. Money line -158 for the Nuggets, +134 for the Heat. Over under set at 210.5. I will be posting another game preview, maybe a game recap as well, on our socials, especially TikTok. I've been blowing up TikTok with all of the game previews and game recaps, so make sure you go check those out. I'm going to have another one hopefully posted in the next day or 2, breaking down what happened. But hey, Beer! What's up, Beer?
Fear Aiken?
Beer, I know you said you were going to rate us. Appreciate that love, my man. Thank you. Hopefully you had a great stream. My name is Chris. This is Scott. We are your hosts for the Action Lab. Let's go.
Let's go, Nuggets.
Let's go, Nuggets. Fear Queen. Let's go. By the way, my name is Chris. This is Scott. Big Nuggets fans. Really excited. Good to have you. Big Searly boy.
Love the Shaq shimmies, guys.
Shaq shimmies.
We're always welcome to the Shaq shimmies.
Let's go. Let's get them rolling. That one guy, Mandy, Big Searly, welcome in. Thank you so much. You guys are all just rolling through.
Just clicking that follow.
Guys, how are you? First of all, I want to know who your teams are and where you're from.
How was the stream, Fear? How was the stream?
How was the stream? Hopefully you had a great evening. Guys, we're here breaking down all of the NBA Game 3. I want to know your thoughts. What did you think? What did you see? We're breaking down everything that we saw, that we obviously, super excited about everything that went down tonight.
Look at this. Fear has his own queen as well. Fear Queen followed us. So,
woo, Fear.
I had Nuggets.
I had Nuggets
originally from Colorado. Fear Queen.
Oh,
originally
you're
from Colorado, but live in Salem, Oregon. Let's go.
Let's go. Move on back.
Salem might be very nice.
We got a Louisville, Kentucky in the house. That one guy, welcome in. What's up, Mandy?
Neo Matrix. I'm from Boston. Need I say more about my favorite teams?
Oh,
so he's probably Giants or Jets.
We have a couple Boston fans in our community, so you'll fit right in. Oh, Cincinnati.
No,
Mandy.
I'm not his queen. I like-
Mandy.
I'm his neighbor. Love it. Love it.
Hey, Mandy, we have a big time Cincinnati following in this stream, so you're gonna feel right at home. Our biggest Cincinnati fan, football wife, will absolutely love you.
She's almost here every time, but her birthday was last night, and I think she's still recovering.
That's true. That's true.
She had to go to bed early tonight.
By the way, Scotty, Fear is a big gambler. He does a lot of like betting and kind of throwing out some different bets, props, whatever. He's like, I had Nuggets bet -8.5 plus 190. I was on them Nugs today. Last game, I had money line Heat. You're crushing bets, man. You're crushing bets. So
I did not bet on tonight's game because I bet on I had the Heat over the Boston before the series. That paid out nice. And then I took Nuggets big in game 1. That paid out nice. And I've been like hesitant since. I'm like, I don't want to get involved with my team, you know? Not in the finals. If it was like a regular season game, I get involved, but like kind of I don't know. I'm worried that my bias is coming out. And then we go and just beat the shit out of them tonight. And I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I should have just. Everyone who asked me today at work, like, are the Nuggets winning tonight? I'm like, oh, they're winning by 8+. But did I pull the trigger on a bet? No.
Guys, join our Discord. We have a great community where we're talking about sports, NHL, NBA, NFL, you name it. We talk about it. Breaking news on our Discord. So there it is, the link in the chat. Also, socials. We are posting on Twitter and TikTok and all the good stuff, YouTube, everything. So make sure you guys join in. It'll be great to grow our community even bigger with Fear's community as well. You guys are incredible. You guys are coming in, having a great time with us. So we appreciate you. That means the world. Neo, I'm the guy that sits out on the side with a 40 in my hands talking about the good old days when Tom Brady and Randy Moss ruled the NFL.
My first question is, what's your 40 of choice?
Yeah, what is your 40 of choice?
What is your 40 choice? Are you like getting like a legit like malt beverage 40, or are you just getting like a 40 of like Coors Light or something? Obviously, I don't know if are people allowed to do Bud Light still? I know Bud Light's. Well, we won't get Bud Light involved in this.
Yeah.
Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Ooh.
Baby, that's all I need. Ooh.
I didn't even catch that. I just read that and then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes you catch stuff and I don't. Sometimes I catch stuff and you don't. It's all like...
I'm embarrassed. So.
Guys, we're having a good time breaking this down. Guys, what do you think is going to be the end of this series? Well, who's going to win it and how many games? We're right now 2-1. Denver takes the win tonight. Right now, the money. Hey, it's just JJ. Another raid.
JJ.
It's not
the greatest
just
JJ I've ever known, Chris.
Let's go. Welcome in, JJ. Let's go. Hope you had a great stream. Welcome in. How you doing, JJ? How's your community doing tonight? We're just breaking down the end of this NBA Finals Game 3, giving our thoughts. We got Nuggets in 6.
Everyone's picking Nuggets in 6. Disclosure on Chris's behalf. Chris, prior to this series, actually prior to the Western Conference Finals finishing, bought tickets for games 5 and 7 in Denver because he wanted to be there when they won it all. And if it happens in 6, I'm sure he'll be thrilled, but somewhat disappointed. Right?
I'm not.
Chris, let's say let's say it happens in Denver in game 5 or 7. What will you do? Will you burn a car down? Will you flip a car over? Will you pee on random establishments? How will you lose your mind?
My inner Philadelphian will come straight out, and I will just wreak havoc. I'll try. It's like. Have you guys seen the Marvel movies where Hulk just goes Hulk smash on things? It'll be like that. It'll be like that. And
are you equating your body shape to the Hulk?
I mean,
just checking.
I got some lifting to do. I got
no. You're just right now. You're Banner. You're Banner right now.
I'm Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And I'll forever be Bruce Banner.
Bruh.
Oh man, Nuggets bringing it home. Nuggets played good today, says JJ. That bet is looking good, Chris. Straight cash, homie. Yeah, I do. Well, I'm curious. I haven't looked at my bet. I have a bet plus 2,400 I made on July 1st of 2022 after the Bruce Brown and KCP acquisitions that the Nuggets would win the NBA title, and it could pay off. I'm not jumping to conclusions quite yet. I mean,
not until we win 4.
not
Chris.
until we win 4. That's right. So
them's the rules.
I
in these
have
playoffs.
a
You gotta win 4 games.
very interesting chance of making some decent scrap at the end of this. I think it's going to be a dogfight, but I think the Nuggets are more hungry than more than my team.
I think the Heat are hungry. I don't think that the Heat lack hunger. I think they lack
That's what got him here.
talent.
That's what got him here.
I think the talent mismatch in this one is hard for the Heat to overcome because I think they're hungry as hell. Fear Queen, I'm an Arizona Cardinals fan. It's gonna be a rough year ahead. Oregon Ducks, go Ducks! Ducks are like my adopted college football team. So I have a good buddy that's a Ducks fan, and I didn't necessarily have a team outside of like the local CU, CSU, but we suck in Colorado here. Maybe Dion turns that around, maybe he doesn't. We'll see. But Ducks are my team. Bo Nix is gonna have a great year. Ducks are legit.
Yeah, and New York Liberty and WNBA, Nuggets and Avalanche. All right, let's go.
So you obviously have seen the whole fire and smoke issue going on. Obviously, Canadian
It's weird.
fires with New York being, and they postponed like some baseball games today and some WNBA games. I'm a little confused by the postponement of WNBA. Okay, because last time I checked, they play basketball indoors.
I mean, the
Like,
HVAC systems. I don't know how that works.
Bad is and they're playing in these nice arenas. Like that seemed a little aggressive to me. Like probably play the WNBA games. I don't know. The outdoor stuff, fine, because it looks like it's the apocalypse out.
Oh, it's like post-apocalypse. It's like Book of Eli stuff.
I have some coworkers at the Rockies that are going. The Rockies go to Boston early next week, Chris. So they're going out and flying out to Boston. I'm like, I hope that it doesn't hit like the Boston area and it's all smoky like that because it looks kind of scary out there right now, Chris.
Yeah, J Cross, you're feeling it over there in Philadelphia. I think is where you're at, J Cross. It's hard to even breathe. Like it's crazy. So guys, stay safe out there, huh? Make sure you guys are keeping good on your health as much as you can, as much as you have control over. I don't know how you control the air. Like,
well, you just unfortunately have to stay inside until Canada figures this out. No, I'm just kidding.
Goodness,
this is all Canada's fault again. No. I have no problem with Canada.
Canada.
Sounds like we've sent a lot of firefighters up to assist Canada because it's not going well right now. It's not going well, which is weird because in Colorado, Chris, we've had the rainiest May/June I could ever remember. It like rains every day.
Yeah, if they can stay healthy, Hero has to step up, but for how long? Says one guy. Yeah, so we were talking a little bit about that. We were kind of
about Tyler Hero.
Yeah, Tyler Hero. We were kind of like figuring how that would look if he came back, taking minutes away from Vincent and Strus. Right. But then Scott is a little more high on the move than I am. But
I just think Game 4 is the time to do it. If you don't do it in Game 4, don't do it on the road in Game 5.
Yeah.
I think you want to do it at home. Reintroduce him at home. So it's now or never. Either bring him back for Game 4 or don't bring him back at all.
Yeah. We're hungry. I'd love for the Heat to win. Bam needs to step up a little more. It's crazy to think, like, even though Bam didn't have a great shooting night tonight, I feel like Bam has still played probably some of the best basketball I've seen Bam play against Jokic in the first 2 games. Hey, Aiken knows what's going on. How we doing? Welcome in.
The Shaq shimmy.
I don't know.
G-Girl, I didn't realize it was 2-3-2. It's not. It's 2-2-1-1-1.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys. Guys, you guys are coming in hot. I love it. All the people joining in and being a part of the chat. Oh, this is the best. It's good to have you guys here. Again,
It's just JJ. Join the Discord. Thank you so much.
yes.
Join that Discord. We talk nonstop all week about different sports.
Oh, we were posting stuff
We
all
make
day
fun of
today
ourselves.
about. We got some. By the way, guys, we are live every Wednesday and Sunday. But when stuff is breaking down, we got some Zion Williamson crazy drama. It's spicy.
It's spicy.
And we're going to talk about that on Sunday, along with some other things. But I didn't even get your take on the PGA stuff, Scotty. I almost want to save that for Sunday because, Scott, you're a big golf guy. And a part of me is like, I want to talk about it now, but part of me is like, I want you have some opinions on it, and I want to get them, but I'm like, I want to save it for maybe Sunday's show.
Okay.
I don't know. Because
yeah. Let's say that for Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I want to get my thoughts together. Because tonight I'm focused on my Nuggets.
It's right.
Let me get my thoughts together. Let me get a little more info on all that's shaken down. Because obviously, outside of my epic joke yesterday, I don't know what all this means. Ultimately, I think it's good for golf, but we'll talk about it. Fear Queen, one of the best players that ever played for Oregon Ducks girls basketball team. Sabrina, Ionescu. Oh, yeah. She was phenomenal. And was her last year at Oregon? I might make this. It might be wrong. Like the COVID year, or did she just lose in the tourney prior to that? Anyway, she plays for New York Liberty, and
I can't
she's
remember.
a stud.
I can't remember.
She was a stud. I remember like what I remember about her is like Kobe like was kind of like a little bit of a mentor to her, and like they were somewhat close, and he loved watching her play.
I do remember that. Yeah, it's rip Kobe. I used to live in Florence, Colorado, born and raised. Hey, well, we're both southern
not in
Denver
Florence.
Metro. Not quite. We're in Highlands Ranch and Lone Tree, so we're not too far away from the Denver Metro area. But hey, it's good to have some locals in the chat, right? Feels good.
Oh yeah.
But guys, yeah, we're gonna be breaking down this Sunday. We're gonna be breaking down Game 4, what took place. We're gonna do post game after Game 4, but we're also gonna just have our normal Sunday show, talking about golf, talking about all the things happening with that, all the drama happening in other areas of the sports world. Baseball, we have some things happening on that front. We have NBA draft we're gonna be preparing for. We have so much to talk about, and we packed so much into these shows. So I just hope you guys can join us again this coming Sunday for everything we have going. Again, my name is Chris. This is Scott, and we are doing this show 2-3 times a week, standard Wednesdays and Sundays for sure. We've mixed in some hours, shows on Thursdays here and there as well. But it's good to have you guys here. And we are, any other thoughts? Throw them in the chat. I wanted to play one quick thing before we get out of here tonight, because we just wanted to make this a quick just reaction show to what happened tonight. But it needs to keep the same energy until the end. Get hero game-winning shot. But let's just finish on this note. Let's finish. Let it breathe.
No matter what, got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say that.
Up, down, up, down, up, down. Cause all I do is win, win. Yeah.
Let's go, Nuggies.
Let's get it. We're almost there, Denver. 2 games away from the biggest moment. It's going to be incredible. And I can't wait for you guys to be here. We can celebrate together. Let's get it. Feels good. Feels good, Scotty. And here we are.
Love that song. That would be one of my 2. If I had a walk-up song in baseball, if I was any good at it, that would be one. The other would be like, you remember that song that was like, I look into the sky and how the world
Oh,
is
yeah.
mine?
Yeah.
I've known it all. Like basically saying, I made it. I made it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be my other one.
Yeah.
Fear Queen is Highlands Ranch near Denver. It's like 30 minutes south of Denver.
Yeah. It's
It's
not
Lone
too
Tree
far.
is right next door to Highlands Ranch. Like we live in different, technically, but we're like 10 minutes away from each other. Probably too close, honestly. I see him on screen enough. I don't need to spend time outside of this with him, but we are related through marriage.
We are. Yeah.
For
So
you guys that don't know,
Yeah.
we're brother-in-laws. I married a lovely woman, and then this gentleman here, Chris, married his younger sister shortly after that.
And we
So,
decided to just do a show together. And here we are, 2.5 years later doing this show. We're having a blast doing it. And it's great to grow this to what it is. But yeah, like it's all like, just like we're a family, you guys are a family. And we make this all one big happy family. We have an incredible community, and I'm glad to have all of you guys as a part of it. You are very, very welcome here. All your sports takes, all your sports just opinions, everything you want to talk about is here for you. And this is your show just as much as it is ours, and we have a great time having fun. We do a lot of pop culture stuff too. We enjoy it, but
yes,
thank